everyone, welcome back to Studio 33 Art by Kay. Well, today I'm going to be doing another little experiment with cell activators. The other day I did one with the whites and everyone seemed to like that video a lot, so I thought, well, I will do the black ones as well. Today I'm going to be comparing Global Black, Montmartre Lamp Black, Amsterdam Oxide Black, and Eraldo di Paolo Black. Now I'm told that Oxide Black is darker and more dense than Lamp Black. So Amsterdam does have Lamp Black and Oxide Black, so I chose the Oxide. The others, Global and the Eraldo, just come in black. So we'll give those a go. I'll do 4 separate small tiles. I've just got the 10 centimetre by 10 centimetre ceramic tiles here today, which I've already prepared by wiping over with isopropyl alcohol. So we're going to do a drizzle, swipe, wreck and spin, and I'll use the same colours on each one so that they're the same. Now, what I've said before is that this is not a scientifically proven experiment in any way. It's not done under lab conditions. It's just me doing an experiment so that you guys can see and perhaps don't have to do it yourself. Although I would recommend that you do these things yourself so that you can see. You may get different results. So without further ado, I'll get on with this. I won't talk too much through this one, so we can make it not so long, seeing as I'm doing 4 tiles. And I will show you the colours when I'm doing the first one, but for the other 3, I'll just either fast forward or not even show you me laying the paints down, because that'll be basically the same. So I am going to lay a base today. I'm going to put the Eraldo di Paolo white mixed with Eraldo metallic ice gold and Floetrol as a base. Now I'm putting a base down because I'd like this base colour to come up when I'm doing the wreck, a little bit of the white to come through. You don't have to do a base when you're doing the drizzle, swipe, wreck, as long as you're going to put enough paints down when you're drizzling the paints on. So I'm just going to put just a quick covering here of the base. They're all mixed to about the same, where when they've drizzled back into the cup, they form a little mound for a couple of seconds before the paint disappears. Okay, now make sure that those sides have just got a little bit of paint on them so that when I'm doing the drizzle, they've got something to adhere to. Whoops. So I'll just quickly do that. Okay, now just hit that with the heat just to get rid of any of those little bubbles. If you've just freshly made your paints up, you will find that you'll get more bubbles. If you've left them for a few hours or maybe overnight, you won't have as many bubbles. Some of these paints I've actually had mixed up for months, but I've had them in these little bottles that have got the screw tops on them. And I mix those with Floetrol, Australian Floetrol, and they do stay good for months and months and months. I'm hoping for years actually, because I've made up a lot of them, but time will tell on that. So the first colour I'm going to put down is Global Cool Blue. So I'm just doing this as a lots of different colours on, no particular theme. If you like, you can do sort of blue and then come into reds, make it look like the ocean with a sunset, whatever you want to do really. This one's the Global Metallic Purple. And I've mixed a few metallics in with a few colours that aren't metallic, just to mix it up a bit. Now this one is the Montmartre Satin series Rose Madder. When I first started doing the paint pouring, I loved Rose Madder. I still like it, but I have other colours I like equally now. So 1, 2, 3, about 4 lines of each colour basically, what I'm doing. This one's Montmartre Pouring Paint Shiraz, which I love as well. Again, back to when I first started, I used a lot of the Montmartre pouring paints. which are great for beginners to use because you don't have to mix them with a pouring medium. I tend to put just a little bit of Australian Floetrol in there just to get the consistency. And my Montmartre pouring paint gold, which is my favourite gold. Just put a bit of gold in there. You can never have too much gold, or you probably can, but now this green I'm using here is, I'll show you what I've done. I've mixed the Eraldo green light with Reeves iridescent medium to give me a iridescent green, because I haven't got an iridescent or metallic green at all. So mixed together, it's giving me this beautiful green. So I'm just going to put a bit of that in there, not too much, just a few little pockets. So they'll pop through here and there. Make sure all your edges have got plenty of paint running over them, which it looks like I have. So now I'm going to swipe. Now the first colour I'm swiping with is the Eraldo di Paolo black mixed with Australian Floetrol 1 to 4. I think I'm in there where you can see me. So just putting that on the back of the playing card. You can use a piece of plastic, file divider, or a little spatula, anything you'd like. So that's about how much I've put on there. And now I'm just going to gently swipe down. Let's see how many cells we get. Okay. There's some cells poking through there. Great. Now I'll just wipe that off on the edge there, which you do try not to do, because see how I've exposed the white of the tile there. But wow, look at these coming through. That's fantastic. So I'm just going to go and wipe that off there, because you don't want to have any paint on the edge. And now I'm just going to put, I'm really impressed with that actually. Whew. Okay, so just popping that on there about the same. Try and do about the same. It's always a little bit of a guess. And down we come again. Just very lightly, not too heavy, not too light, just right. And then keep pulling straight off like that. Again, it did wipe on the edge, but that's fine. Okay, well, there's a lot of cells coming through on that one. So I'll just give it a quick hit with the heat tool to burst any bubbles and also bring up any more cells, not that we need them. So I guess the thing about cell activators is that it's not just the cell activator, it's also the reaction with the paints you've used. So you might find when you use a cell activator with a certain brand of paints, or maybe metallics and or maybe non-metallics, or a mixture of both, you can get a very different result with the same cell activator. So it's not just about the cell activator, which is why I'm going to use all the same paints today, so that we can really compare. But that's just magical. I almost don't want to do anything to that. Just take a quick photo on my phone. Right. So, how will I wreck this one today? I think I'm going to, I don't want to do it all over. So I'm just going to do like I did the other day and just bring it down like this. And I'll do a few little pipette pops on there as well. So just slowly dragging down. So I'm just using the flat end of a bamboo skewer. And just bring it down from this side as well. Maybe bring it around and then down. And again, a bit of around and then down. Almost like a love heart, really. Give that guy a bit of a top. And then a little bit here. A little bit here. Okay, and then I won't do anything in the center there. Okay, there's my little pipette. So this is just one of these little pipettes that you use to squeeze paint out of the middle of a painting if you've got too much in there, or maybe you're going to drop some ink on, or all sorts of things, but it's just a little squeezy bulb there. So I'm just going to use the end of that just to put some little flower dips in there. Might be a little bit wet at the moment. Sometimes it's better. Julie Cube always says to walk away and leave it for a little while. Otherwise the paint just falls back in. So we'll just see how we go here. I'll just do a few of these along here. And I might need to pop these in again after I've done the spin. In fact, it might be better to spin first and then do the little flowers, because then some of the paint will have run off. So I'll just do a small spin here. I'm actually just going to close this container. So that was the Eraldo black. Put that over there out of my reach. I just spilt a little pot of paint before I started today, and I had green paint everywhere. Okay, so just a spin. And go back the other way. Oops. I try not to spin for too long. And then I have a look and see what I've got. I'm feeling like the Shiraz, which is a pouring paint, is really bleeding through here. And the other colours are pretty much disappearing, like the metallic purple and the cool blue have disappeared, and that Shiraz is really taken over, and I can't even see any green in there at all. Once more. Okay, so that was 2 one way and 2 the other. So making sure I've got you in the middle there. Rightio, so I'm just going to do some more of these little kisses on here. See if I can't find some of that green. Must be in there somewhere. You can actually just use your finger if you like as well, like that. It will also bring up little flowers. Quite nicely. Oh, that's pretty. And this is the fun part, I think. Doing all this little dipping. Because you never know what's underneath there that you can bring up. Still no sign of any green though. I know it's there. I might have to put a little bit more on the next one. Okay, that's looking quite pretty. Still no green anywhere. See how the white's coming through from the base there, which is what I wanted. So a little bit of white for a contrast with the black. Well, that looks very pretty. So I'll put that one aside now. Make sure the edges are covered, but they're not quite here. Because that, when I did the swipe off with the Cell Activator, wipe the colour off the edge. So I've just popped that back on. As you can see, that's all covered now. Just making sure all your edges are covered, which I think they will be. And then when I put it over on the little stand, I'll make sure I wipe any drips off the bottom, because you don't want the paint to keep dripping off the sides, otherwise your pattern will disappear. Okay, so I'll just take a little shot photo of that. And I'll pop it to one side. Very beautiful. So that's a yes to the Eraldo di Paolo black plus Floetrol. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and lay some paint on another tile, and then I'll come back and talk to you when I'm about to do the swipe. Okay, so as you can see, I've put a lot less of the Shiraz, which took over on the other one, and I've put more of the green, so we'll see how this one turns out. So now I'm going to use the Amsterdam Oxide black plus Floetrol. Let's give it a little mix. And again, just placing it on the playing card, about 2 centimeters worth on there. Just enough to cover it, not too thick. And here we go. Let's see what we're going to get this time. Oh, again, lots of beautiful cells. Black really does give you, I think, far better cells than what white does. Maybe you've had a different experience than that. I'd love to hear about it. And then down we go. Oh, look at those cells. They're just coming up beautifully straight away. Let's put this Cell Activator to one side. Okay, so now we will hit it with the heat tool. So as you can see, I've got a lot of the green coming through this time. So it really is a case of thinking about what colours you want to come through as to what you put where. Now I did put that on the top of the previous one, but I didn't put much on there. And so it disappeared altogether. Must have sunk through the other colours. Whereas this time I put less of the Shiraz and more of the green, so it's really come through. The cells are great. I think I preferred the cells on the Eraldo actually. I think they were prettier cells. Anyway, we'll see by the end. So I'll do the same type of thing that I just did with that one. I'll just do little finger pops with the kisses this time. In fact, I'll spin it out first and then I'll do those once I've spun it out. The inch here needs a little bit more. Okay, so that's that one. So that was the Amsterdam Oxide Black. And I'll pop that over there and continue on with the next one. And then at the end, I'll put them all together so you can see them all together. Right, so I've laid down my paint Now this time we're going to use the Montmartre Lamp Black with Floetrol. So again, just spreading that on the card. Oops. And here we go. Oops, I haven't hit it with the heat embossing tool. I just want to burst the bubbles. There's quite a few in there too. Here we go. Oops. I see very, very few cells there. So I'm surprised about that actually. Whereas the other two reacted straight away, the Eraldo and the Amsterdam Oxide really reacted straight away, lots of cells. Whereas this Montmartre Lamp Black, very, very few cells. So I'm going to say that's a no. Okay, we'll just hit it with the heat embossing tool. Perhaps it might help to bring some cells up. And not much there. Right. So the Montmartre Lamp Black is a very nice black. I use it for lots of things. But as far as a cell activator, in this case, and it could have just been me, the way I've mixed it, the cells haven't come up at all, really. So I'm still going to do the usual through this, because colours will come through, and when I do the little kisses, it will bring colour through as well. And so at least you can see that, how that works. Actually no colour at all coming through. I would have thought when I went through that with a rack that it would have brought all the colours through. This is a big surprise. So I'll see what happens when I do the little kisses. And there's something coming through, just the gold. Oh, there's a bit of colour. I'll press quite hard just to bring these colours through. A little bit of colour coming through, mostly the gold. And that's actually really beautiful. So it's not that it's failed as a paint, it just hasn't given us the cells that the others gave. But as an effect, look at that. I'm going to have to do a close-up of that. That is gorgeous. So it's brought the colours through and the gold with the black background. It's just actually turning out beautiful. Just not many cells. And that's fine. My partner Steve, he really doesn't like cells. He doesn't get what the cell thing's all about. And we're all raving on about, oh, look at those cells, look at those cells. And he's like, oh, don't give me cells. I should have actually spun this out before I started doing these. But they are super pretty. I just can't stop doing it. One up here where that white didn't get covered in much black. I might put a bit of black on it actually. Right, so I will give that a little spin out just to get a little bit of the paint off, but that is super pretty. So I certainly will be using the Montmartre Lamp Black, but in a different way, just so that it will cover over, make it look like probably out in the night sky. So it's very black, night sky, and then bring the colours up with the finger pops, or you could use a balloon or a pipette. So yeah, just a different effect altogether, but I do actually love that, and I think you're all going to love it too. So So I'll just spin it out. Okay. So my little fairies here are absolutely gorgeous. I'll just re-clarify a few of them. These ones here have really got a little tail going on, like little fireflies or something like that. So I think I've done enough with that. I don't want to overdo it. She says, touching it again, leave it. Right, I'm going to leave it. And pop that one to one side. So now we'll do the next one. The next one is going to be a global black with Floetrol 1 to 4. It's the Cell Activator. We'll just get started with that one. Okay, so paint's down. I'll just quickly hit it. With the little one I just did with the fairies on it, with the black background with the Montmartre, I noticed none of the green, even though I put quite a bit on, came up, and the Shiraz, even though I only put a few pops of it on there, it still really came through. So some paints really do like to be a bully and dominate, and that's just trial and error. So this is the global black as a Cell Activator, mixed 1 to 4 with Australian Floetrol. I'm just putting that on there. Now let's see if there's going to be magic this time, or is it just going to stay black as well? I think we'll get magic. Let's have a look. And magic we do. Wow, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. I do love a good Cell Activator. And here we go again. And down. Just let those come up for a sec. Right, well they are gorgeous. So that's the global black. And they're lovely, so I'll just hit them with the heat tool. The Montmartre pouring paint gold mixed with a little Floetrol certainly does seem to react well with Cell Activators. So that's one thing I do know. Okay, so now I'll just do my wrecking lines. Hopefully I'll get some nice patterns out of this. And I'm pleased to see that I've got some green and some of the Shiraz and some of the blue and some of the, what's it called, rose madder. They've all come through here, which is nice, and even the purples there. So everything's represented this time. It's the global. The cells have got nice shape to them. They've expanded, and some have just kept their shape as small, some have expanded. I've got nice wrecking lines through there. So I think when I do my finger popping that it is going to end up super duper. So that's just what I'm thinking. So I'll start doing some of these up here. Right, I'll just hit it with the heat tool just to burst any last bubbles and bring up any cells. Now it's going to dry beautifully shimmery there. It's got the Montmartre pouring paint gold in it. That just makes it shimmer so nicely. So that's just lovely there, that one. So that's the global black. And I'll just pop that to one side and then I'll bring you in for a close-up. Okay, so here we are coming down for a close-up. This was the Eraldo black and it's created some beautiful cells. I've got the flash on so that you can see how the gold is shimmering there. That's just lovely. The next one is the Amsterdam Oxide black. You can see the cells are a lot smaller. They are still lovely though. There's got some beautiful cells in there. They're just smaller than the other. Then the next one we did was the Montmartre lamp black, which made virtually no cells at all, but still made a beautiful piece because I was able to bring the little fairies through by doing the little finger popping there. So that's still a beautiful piece. It's just virtually no cells. And the last one, which is really beautiful, the global black as a cell activator, and that's a lovely, lovely piece. As you can see, the cells are a great size. There's little cells and these bigger cells, and the shimmer with that gold and those beautiful little flowers are just lovely. So there's the four of them together. Hopefully I can get that in with all my mess everywhere. So I hope you've enjoyed that little experiment today, guys. Just bear in mind that the way that you lay your paints down has an effect. And, you know, so this is, as I say, is by no means a laboratory experiment. You saw how I laid the paints down. So, you know, you just need to have a little experiment yourself and try those out. And as I say, they've all got a slightly different effect, but all look great in the end. Okay, so I'll see you back here at Studio 33 in the not too distant future. Bye for now.